So the all-new Suzuki XL6 has just been launched, and talking to me about it is Shashank Srivastava. Shashank, a new model, an important model. In a way, it's been a sort of flagship for y'all.
Yeah.
Just to understand, this segment, you've obviously thrown a lot into this car. How important is this segment given the fact that, SUVs are really taking attention and let's say even capturing the hearts and minds of consumers?
Yeah, so you're right. First of all, that SUVs are getting very important. It is about 40% of the overall market now and the largest segment in the industry. However, the segment of MPV is also pretty large, as I explained earlier part of our launch, which is that last year, if you see the absolute numbers, about 260,000 in this segment. Maruti sold about 160,000 of them. So 160,000 is a pretty large number. We have about 61% of the market for MPV. And we hope to continue to our dominance in this segment with these new launches, both the new Ertiga, which we did last week, and the new XL6. This segment, by the way, was just around 160, 170,000 a few years back, about 4 or 5% of the market. New products came in, including our XL6, which came in 2019. And we have seen the volumes go up. An average monthly volume for MPV is now about 22,500, 23,000. We do about 13,500 of those, 10,000 for the Ertiga, 3,500 for the XL6. We do hope that we'll increase the volumes in this segment going forward.
But Shashank, it's interesting looking at the XL6. The sense one gets, you're trying to make an MPV as SUV as possible, even in terms of looks, even in terms of slight positioning. So, it's that, it's a bit of a contradiction in that sense, where you have an MPV, but you're trying to make it as SUV-ish as possible. Is it because, you don't have a proper SUV offering in this segment? Or is this really what the customer is looking for, a mix of practicality and a little bit of, let's say, SUV-ishness?
Yes, so exactly the second thing is what our research shows consumers are looking for. So there are many consumers who want that spaciousness, the seating, the three-row seating, including the captain seat in the second row, which you see in the XL6. So a lot of people belong to that category, and that is the reason why this vehicle is no longer about people's carrier. Earlier, it used to be for those people with large families wanting to travel together for long distance, etc. But increasingly, our research shows that there is now a category of consumers who are using this product as a lifestyle. It enhances their lifestyle, enables them to do many activities, whether it is going out with office colleagues, going to picnics, taking the family for a outing, and so on and so forth. And they have a design preference also, which is more strong. So there are a lot of consumers who do not have that preference, for which we have MPVs like the Ertiga, which is in our arena channel, and some people who want a more stronger, masculine, more aggressive lines and design, and that is what XL6 appeals.
Right. And Shashank, I want your thoughts on the three-row category, 3 rows of seats. How do you see that growing? I mean, is it that important? I mean, is it really a big value add in a certain segment, or is it something that's just nice to have but people don't really use it? How important is the 3-row kind of configuration?
Yeah, so rarely would you see any segment having all consumers having the same criteria for buying or usage of the product being the same. So there are many people in the category of SUV or in this category of MPV who really want those 3 seats, because some people travel often in large numbers. Some people want to have that flexibility, especially because now we have seats at the rear, the third seat, which can be folded down in multiple ways to incorporate lots of different types of luggage, etc. So it can be very good for those people looking for versatility, at the same time a option available for larger people.
No, my point is this segment growing? Are people wanting more of it? Are you seeing some change post-COVID? I mean, people wanting to travel more together. I mean, how's this segment size for the 3-row category is what I'm trying to get at.
So I think if you look at the actual numbers, they're not so large.
Exactly.
However, there are not many which are available, options available. So we are still to test the market. But I must say that is probably not going to be very large, probably, because we still have a large majority of people not using those 3 rows. So probably is going to say, but there will be a niche of consumers who would want that type of vehicle.
You know, Shashank, talking about the MPV category, where Ertiga is, you know, you've got XL6, a more lifestyle, more upmarket. How do you see the MPV category is also growing, but a very different kind of customer? And, you know, is fleet a very important customer in that category? And also, do you find that there's much more loyalty with MPV customers, and that in a way plays to your strength? I mean, you've got Innova on one side and Ertiga on other, and everyone's tried in between, they've all failed. So is brand loyalty being less risk averse in MPVs more than in other categories?
Yeah, probably, although I haven't really analyzed it this way, but we do have an analysis of Ertiga and the XL6. The brand, what you call the pre-decided percentage of consumers is very high.
In Ertiga?
For Ertiga, even for XL6 pretty high. So there probably you are absolutely on spot when you say that there is an element of loyalty built in. And having said that, as more consumers come in and people see the versatility of the product, also the good style cues and the great design and so on, I think this category will continue to grow.
Right. And last question, Shashank, you know, obviously a big SUV still, you know, coming. It's not there in the product mixes yet. Do you think XL6 is a little bit of a bridge between, you know, going more towards a pure full-blown SUV product, which, you know, is still vacant in the portfolio?
Hormazd is like this. We have, as you know, in the non-SUV category, a market share of 66-67%. It's the highest ever we have had. But overall, our market share is just around 45%. And that's because our SUV segment market share is quite low. It's about 12-13%. So obviously, we need to strengthen our SUV portfolio. And it is not about bridging, because this category, we have 60% market share. It's a pretty large share to defend. We have 95-96% share in vans. We have 67% share in passenger cars. So it's like quite good otherwise. So you are right on the SUV front. And we have said before that the problem for Maruti Suzuki is that we have only 2 models in the 47 odd models which are there in the industry. So obviously, we need to strengthen that. And we will be strengthening that going forward. And I think it's not really a bridge, because by the time you build the bridge, you may probably have the strengthening of the portfolio in SUV.
Right. Then I just want to end it on one last thing. You know, you said you have about 66% share in the smaller segment. So just coming...
Not in the small segment, non-SUV.
Non-SUV segment, sorry, stand corrected. But coming to, let's say, your absolute core segment, which is at the lower end, the hatchbacks. We've seen a lot of other players either vacating or not even bothering with the hatchback segment. Does that present you with an opportunity there? Absolutely. I mean, obviously, it's a tough segment, but in a way, it's maybe not so tough when competition is vacating that segment. But then you've got other segments to also compete with.
Absolutely. So it is all about how we can compete in each segment. And just to add to your point, actually, if you look at the hatch segment, it has been roughly at 45-46% of the market till last year. It has been 46 and has been the largest even till the year before last. I mean, till 2021. It was the largest, and 46% at a constant level. So if people move out and our market share improves, definitely it's a big opportunity. I think there has been a blip this year when for various reasons, including the supply shortage which we see. And definitely this is a segment we will continue to want to dominate.
And so hatchbacks is a big segment.
It is.
Maybe the numbers are not representative, because, I mean, there isn't enough players as well that also could contribute to, let's say, the stunted growth or degrowth of the segment, because there's a limit to how much one player can grow it.
Correct. So that is possible. But I must say it is the largest segment, and the reason why there is this thought that it is dying is because it has come down from an overall, it was used to be 60% of the market, 61% just about 5 years back. It's come down to about 45-46%, and last year to about 38-39%. So that decline is what is fueling this thought. But in absolute numbers, it is a pretty large segment, and we are happy that we will continue to dominate that segment.
Thanks very much for talking.
Thank you very much.